Public Good Society of Dartmouth. It was an organization put together by a group of people, concerned citizens, who saw people who needed some help. They felt they were falling through the gaps. So it kind of started in downtown Dartmouth, and it was centered primarily among the people who attended and used the facilities at Margaret's house, the soup kitchen in downtown Dartmouth, and it grew from there. So it's throughout Dartmouth, but primarily in downtown and lately in the North End. We organized as a society, formally organized as a society in 2006. The quote comes from a famous speech made by Joseph Howe, and it inspired the people who first started the Public Good Association or Society. It struck them as a very appropriate motto to live by: what is in the public good? So it's for the good of the people. We didn't do the mural. The mural was done, I believe, by the Downtown Dartmouth Business Commission in collaboration with somebody else. But we're really happy to see it because it publicizes that saying, and it makes people think about what Joseph Howe said, and maybe things will be a little better for people in need. Well, we have 3 programs currently on the go. One is called Connections That Work. Another program we have is our North End van. The third program we have is the Dartmouth Housing Office. So everybody's trying to do a good job.
I am the outreach community facilitator for the Connections at Work project for the Public Good Society of Dartmouth. And my role as a part-time staff person is to navigate, to go to places with people who have barriers to employment and meet them, find out what they could use to increase their capacity, and then refer them to services, and then follow up with them to see whether or not those program referrals have been helpful in building capacity. So this is Stairs United Church. It's called the North Dartmouth Outreach Center, Resource Center, but typically people call it the Stairs Food Bank. It's really the only game in town. If you live in North End Dartmouth, you know, it's the place to go if you need groceries. It's also got a clothing depot right across the street. At this point, I've been doing the work for almost 8 years. I would suggest that about 80% of the people know who I am. So that initial kind of who are you and what are you doing, which is completely normal. But I'm kind of past that stage after 8 years. And so now I'm in a place where people know what I do. And generally speaking, there's a lot of support that I offer in terms of, you know, how's it going? How's the job skills coming along? If people have a mental illness and that's a particular issue, I might ask how, if they have services, if they need another referral, if there's an agency that could be more helpful to them. The 2 numbers that they ask me to track are repeat clients. Those are persons that I have previously worked with and require some help. And then new clients, right? So typically in a month, I would repeat help 25 to 30 people, work with them, and then usually 15 to 20 new ones. And those would be the clients that I'd be working with over the course of each month.
My name is Ralph McKenzie. I'm the coordinator of the Dartmouth North Community Van and a part-time driver for Stairs Memorial Food Bank. The Community Van is a program that's offering services to people that have very little or no transportation options. It's a program that helps people from food banks, takes people to get affordable, safe food, and it serves a need in our community for people that really, really need support. They may need a hand, they don't need a hand out, as they say, they need a hand up. We give them a hand and we give them a lift, a transportation lift, and it's fulfilling a need in our community. In 2012, Jim Smith was the counselor for the Dartmouth North area. Jim was driving in his own time on Wednesday mornings for one of the local food banks, And he felt that there was a real need for nonprofit groups in the Dartmouth North area to have some means of affordable transportation. So representatives from the Public Good Society coordinated and met with several different nonprofit groups, and sure enough, it was determined that there was a need, and a lot of the groups were looking for an affordable means of transportation. They just didn't have any. So Jim Smith provided the funding for, and we purchased a 2012 Kia Sedona van. But we've had a lot of support with the community van. Imperial Oil Esso has provided some gas cards, which really helped defray the cost of the gasoline, and O'Regan's Kia Dartmouth have provided a wonderful maintenance package. So really, maintenance for the community van is pretty much free. The day that we walked in the food bank and I made the announcement that the community van was there, and the community van, through stairs, was going to provide free transportation for people home, the place erupted in applause. I mean, the people that were there were so ecstatic. It just alleviated another barrier that it's difficult enough going to a food bank, making your way there, but trying to make your way home was a real challenge. And it was just, the response was just overwhelming. The community van has traveled over 30,000 kilometers in the 4 years and impacted in more than 12,000, transportation of 12,000 people. So it sort of speaks for itself in the impact that it's having on people's lives in our community.
My name is Darcy Gillis. I'm the House and Support Worker for Dartmouth House and Help. Dartmouth House and Help is a community support service that was created 2 years ago. We help individuals find low-income housing within the area or within the HRM. We don't just limit it to the Dartmouth area, but our goal is just to provide a holistic approach in helping individuals find something that will improve upon their quality of life currently. The first step, I think it's important to immediately introduce yourself. If the person is willing, shake their hand, just explain who you are and what your role is, and then just ask them what can you do to help them. A lot of people will just stop in here out of curiosity, so it's important to take that time, just explain with them what we do, what we have done in the past, what we could potentially do for them, and if they're interested, they're more than willing to come back, or they can leave at least with that knowledge. If we have time and a person just drops in, we'll perform an intake. It's just a general little questionnaire so we can get a better understanding of someone's situation, what barriers that might be presented to them, and how we can work around that together to find something that will be suitable for them. From there, we will just start calling different landlords, scouring the internet, seeing what we can find, what's available. It's extremely a hard thing to do, to reach out to a stranger for help, especially in their situation. A lot of people carry a lot of pride, which is important to recognize. So I take a great deal of pride in establishing this strong rapport and supporting them in any way possible. I try and make sure that if I don't have the proper answers or resources to assist someone, I can direct them to someone who can better properly support them, and make sure that they know that even though that I wasn't able to support them at this point in time, that they're more than welcome to come back and see if there's anything else I can do, or if I can at least point them in the right direction. So it's important to keep a healthy rapport and to individualize each person. Everyone has a unique story, a unique case. It's important to recognize that, spend some time with them, talk with them, and then see where you can go together from there.
The Public Good Society is a board that actually does something. Everyday programs that impact on people's lives, whether it's Kevin going to the food banks, whether it's our group finding housing for people that need it, whether we're providing transportation. Every single day we're doing something that impacts with people.
You meet so many interesting people with so many different stories.
Well, it's very rewarding. The people in the organization are really great. Everybody is dedicated. Nobody is in it for anything other than to help others. A very dedicated group, friendly, pleasant, caring people, and all they want to do is help people who are in need in the community.